The following sports broadcast is a special presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. It's time for the excitement of West Virginia high school basketball, featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's high school basketball broadcast is being brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Marius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
And now, let's go courtside and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team with today's pregame show.
Patriots, they come in from Charlestown at 4 wins, 9 losses on the season. For Talk Radio, WRNR and TV10 Sports, I'm Matt Miller along with Matt Crawford. Eric Sterick running our TV10 camera. Colin McLaughlin is our engineer and producer back at the studio. Well, Matt, these two teams met back on the 14th of January, not quite a full month later, but here they are for their second meeting. The first one went the way of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it went the way of Martinsburg, and I think that final score a little bit closer than the game actually played out down the stretch. I think it was a case where, very similar to the way the Martinsburg started their last time out against Broadford and Christian, I think it was very similar when they started that game in Charlestown against the Washington Patriots. Came out a little lethargic, came out not with the intensity that you expected from this Bulldog team, but after a quarter and a half, they started to get in rhythm. But for this Washington team, they do have some size. The athleticism just isn't quite there yet for this team, and a team that is going through some growing pains, a first-year head coach and some younger players on the team. Looking down at the roster, 4 sophomores are on the roster this year, so a team that's got its fair share of juniors and sophomores, also a handful of seniors. But if they can get that size mismatch down low, it is going to be very important for them tonight, because Martinsburg will be without their biggest guy down low, and that is Trey Sager, out tonight with an illness.
Yeah, one of 4 Bulldogs that will not be playing tonight, as a flu bug of some sort or a cold bug, whatever it may be, making its way through the team and impacting 4 guys that might normally be on the floor. Just one coming out of that starting lineup in Trey Sager, Kamarion Dow, Cyril Ngaza, and Avion Blackwell, who has been splitting some time between JV and varsity, also have been dealing with illness. So Martinsburg, not a deep team already, will be even thinner, if you will, tonight. The Dogs, though, Matt, are on a roll. They've won 8 in a row and 11 of 12 after that season-opening loss. And they're coming off a win, 82-53, at Broadford and Christian Academy on Friday. Yeah,
and they've shown, obviously you don't win that many games in a row and have a stretch like this if you're not a good basketball team, but they have shown in games that they just can't put together a complete game. And you've seen that, I don't want to say more as a team, I think you've seen that more with individual players. I know a lot of that you can attribute to certain guys not playing for 4 full quarters because of the lead that Martinsburg has, but you've seen guys like Telrin Villa, like Teddy Marshall, like Trey Sager, like Anthony Smith come out and have good first halves and then not a whole lot to talk about in the second half, or vice versa, kind of have slow first halves getting into it and then come on strong in the second half. So I think it's games like this that you can really put together complete games individual-wise. I think this is a game that obviously the Dogs are favored in. I mean, you look at an 11-win Martinsburg team and a 4-win Washington team, that edge just go to Martinsburg unless you're sitting here rooting for Washington. But I think that this is a game where if everybody comes out with the right mindset for Martinsburg, I think not only can they get the win or should get the win, I think that individual-wise you should see a lot of guys in the scoring column and playing consistent basketball from start to finish tonight.
Washington has dropped 6 out of their last 7, and they are coming in off of a loss on Saturday at Mercersburg Academy, 67-51. But, Matt, last Friday they did snap a 5-game slide with a 51-46 victory at Spring Mills. So technically 1-1 in their last 2 games, and maybe hoping that they can bring some of that momentum into this matchup against the Dogs.
And when you look at the game like that, obviously it's not the position battle you want to be fighting for, but Washington, Spring Mills towards the bottom of the regional rankings are going to be once those regional rankings come out at the end of the season. And it's those head-to-head matchups that keep you from being that bottom team. Again, we haven't seen Hampshire in person yet, but the teams we have seen out of this region, you would put Washington and Spring Mills down near the bottom, and it's games like that that are going to allow Washington to be higher in those regional rankings to get a more favorable matchup.
There you go. That is our matchup tonight. The Washington Patriots visiting the Martinsburg Bulldogs. And we'll see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Check in on some girls and boys action from last night as well. Coming up next on our pregame show, it's brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio-video distribution, and more. They're online at WHMsystems.com or phone 304-350-1931. Back in 60, it's West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my finances, I trusted Kelly's referral to her Ameriprise advisor. Beth gives me the comprehensive advice that helps me feel confident my financial future is secure. With the right financial advisor, life can be brilliant. Ameriprise Financial.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
Back again here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Matt, let's see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference. Believe it or not, it's a Tuesday night this late in the season, and this is the only game in town. But there was a game last night. It was Hedgesville getting the victory over Winter Mills out of the area of Westminster, Maryland. 56-35, the final in that one. The Hedgesville boys have now won 2 in a row. They are 13-3. Next up for them at Spring Mills this Friday.
Yeah, and we talked about in the last segment how Washington and Spring Mills battling for those spots in the lower part of the region. I think that Hedgesville, with the wins they've been continuing to get, obviously the head-to-head matchup with Martinsburg is going to hurt them down the stretch. Still one more, so if they split, then it really becomes interesting. But right now, I think you have to give the slight edge to Martinsburg, but Hedgesville right there, and looks like they're going to be right there come the end of the season.
Meanwhile, Musselman is coming off a win at Fort Hill last Friday, 63-61. They've now won 4 in a row, 6 of their last 7. Musselman is at 10-5, and they won't play again until this Friday when they host Martinsburg, and that'll be a big matchup.
Yeah, that's going to be a big matchup. Again, Musselman has been a team that's going through a little bit of growing pains this year. You weren't sure what you were going to get after losing a couple guys and not having some guys that they were expecting to, with names like Blake Hardman, who is still battling back from a football injury, but still right in the thick of things, a middle-of-the-road team when it comes to regional play. So it's a big matchup, and you're going to hear from Coach Rogers a little bit later that anytime there's a Martinsburg or a Bulldog name on the front of the jersey, you're going to get everybody's best, and I expect nothing less from Musselman on Friday.
The Spring Mills boys now at 4-11 after that loss against Washington on Friday. They're back in action at Hampshire High School tomorrow evening. Jefferson will get back to action this Friday when they will be taking on the Hampshire Trojans. That game will be down at Shenandoah Junction. Meanwhile, on the girls' side, Martinsburg last night scored a victory over Washington, 53-24. That's 12 straight wins. The Martinsburg girls now 13-2. And, Matt, that sets up a big matchup this Thursday night as they will host Musselman. Musselman beat Jefferson last night 46-39 as the Lady Applemen are now 13-5, while Jefferson falls to 11-8 with that loss.
Yeah, that's a big win, and in that fashion against Jefferson last night. And again, I think with the girls' season ending a week earlier than the boys, I think you're starting to see even more of things starting to shape out in regards to those regional rankings on the girls' side. And I think right now Martinsburg is that team to beat, but again, Musselman is right behind them, nipping at the heels.
Washington now 2-14 with that loss against Martinsburg last night. Spring Mills, by the way, will be hosting Hedgesville coming up on Thursday evening. Spring Mills is at 5-11 as they got the win against Washington last Friday, 48-36. And Hedgesville, they suffered a loss against Jefferson on Friday to fall to 5-11. And again, Hedgesville looking forward to being at Spring Mills this Thursday. Two more quick scores to bring you on the JV level in boys basketball, a game that wrapped up just before we went on the air here. Washington gets the win over Martinsburg 50-43. More on that at the half. And the freshman Martinsburg boys with a, what do you call it, a walk-off win last night against Greencastle Antrim. Coach Chris Berg saying it was a leg up as time expired. They gave Martinsburg that 33-31 victory. They've now won 3 in a row, and the freshman boys 7-3. Again, more on that one coming up at the half. All right, as we continue with our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show, we got to go courtside and hear from Bulldogs head coach Dave Rogers. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR and TV 10.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Fieldhouse, continuing with our W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Time to go courtside and talk with Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. Our conversation getting underway, discussing the 82-53 win at Broad Fording on Friday.
Well, first of all, Broad Fording was better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they had some size. I thought they had some shooters. When I talked to their coach at halftime, I said, Coach, you kids did a nice job. He said, Dave, that's the best half of basketball we played all year. And they did. They did a nice job. Second half, we got it together. I kind of told our guys the mentality is what it was. We're going to go over here to this little small private school and we're going to dominate, and that doesn't happen. And I keep trying to tell our kids, when you got Martinsburg or you got a Bulldog written on your chest, you're going to take everybody's best shot. And then they're just wonderful people. They filled in last year at our tournament when we lost a team, and their assistant coach, who used to be the head coach, Bernie Cutts, he and I played against each other in high school. He was North High and I was Martinsburg. So good relationship there, go back a long way.
Talk to us about what it is you're looking for from your team at this stage of the season. Game number 14 tonight. You're kind of starting around turn number 4 and into the home stretch.
Well, what we've really worked on is I just think we need to do a better job of getting the ball inside. We talked the other day, and I said, fellas, think back, not even only this year, the Charleston trips, but all the others. What happens when that outside three-pointer doesn't fall? When it falls, you look great. Well, what happens if it doesn't fall? And you've got to do two things. You've got to pound it inside, and we're really working on that. And I think we got some guys that we can get the ball into. And you've got to attack the basket. You can't settle for a three. So we're trying to work on shot selection, making sure that every possession counts. Sometimes we're too free with the ball. About ready to charge them $1 every time or $5 every time they turn it over. But you got to protect that ball. Every possession is precious. And then the other word we talked about was patience. Sometimes we're not patient enough on the offensive end. I like what we're doing on the defensive end. I think we're rotating well. I think we're starting to understand each other, and still can't build that bench any deeper than we've been able to build. But you know what? I had a team back at the St. James tournament. We had 6 on the floor playing, and that's what we did, and they won it. So, it is what it is. Tonight we're down 4 players. We're down a starter. The sickness is really the bug has really hit this ball club, and it's next man up. So that's not an excuse. We don't want to use an excuse. That gives another player an opportunity to get in there and perform.
Beginning of January, you saw this Washington team down there, had a 20-point lead at one point. They closed it out, made it a little closer in the end. What do you look for in this one?
Well, I'm not sure they're going to change a whole lot. I think they've gotten better with their sets and what they're doing. I think their coach is doing a nice job trying to they set good screens. I did notice that. They're setting some nice screens and coming off those screens. So I just it's not what they do, it's what we do. We have to do what we're supposed to do.
Coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
And there you hear from Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers, some of his thoughts as the Dogs head into this matchup tonight hosting the Washington Patriots. Another 60-second break, and we'll come back to wrap up our portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Matt is standing by with keys to the game. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well has tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We are back once again here at the Martinsburg Field House. It is time for our keys to the game, a service of Luttrell LC. Let Chris Luttrell hand you the keys to your new home for all of your real estate legal needs. Give Chris a call at 304-267-3050. Matt, let's start with the Washington Patriots as the visitors.
I think for Washington, you have to go back to what you did right in the first matchup with Martinsburg. It's not your second time seeing them, so you know what they're going to do, and one of the things that they're going to do is that half-court trap or trap in the backcourt, and it's a little bit of a delayed trap. And I thought for the most part Washington in the first game did a good job of the initial break, just didn't seem to get out in transition very well and seemed to rush a couple of passes. So I think do what you did in the first game, but be able to do it a little more smooth, if that makes sense, because I thought they did a good job of executing to a certain extent last game. Now it's just kind of finishing and adding on to what they did in this first matchup in mid-January. So I think kind of just slow it down will be the key for them, and don't try to outthink yourself, outplay yourself, or try to overthink what you think Martinsburg is going to do.
Well, 17 turnovers, not great, but not bad really for Washington against a Martinsburg defense that 6 times this season has forced 20 or more turnovers. Meanwhile, the Dogs, you know they want to get up and down the floor. The last time these teams met, 72-61, Martinsburg got the win, and that's right around where they're averaging, 72 to 73 points a game. What do you see for the Dogs?
Come out with the same intensity that you saw in the Musselman game, in the Hedgesville game. Don't overlook the Patriots because they're only a 4-win team. You saw what happened when you, I think, probably overlooked Broadford and Christian a little bit in the first half of the game on Friday. I believe it was a lackluster start when you played Washington down in Charlestown. So come out with strong intensity and do what you've been doing to keep this win streak up.
There you go, keys to the game. They're brought to you by Chris Luttrell at Luttrell LC, locally owned. They know the business. They're part of the community, and you can win every time when it comes to your real estate legal needs by phoning 304-267-3050. Now getting ready for the introduction of the starting lineups to the crowd on hand here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, and the lineups are brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist. If your vehicle is not starting properly, start at D&N Auto to get it fixed right the first time. Family owned and operated since 1974. Call 304-267-4078. We'll begin with the Washington Patriots, 4-9 on the season, led by Trent Hilliard in his first year as the head coach, serving as an assistant last year under Justin Brown. It is William Fleming and Anthony Puller who are serving as assistant coaches. For Washington, it is Liam Morris who is being introduced as a senior guard. Also being introduced is Jalen Puller. He is a junior guard. Let's add Daniel Moylan in there. He is a senior forward. You've got Jalen Wright, who is a junior forward. And, Matt, I've missed the last one.
I believe it's Trey Jackson.
There you go. Trey Jackson, number 11. We've had some jersey adjustments based on the roster and the jersey numbers from the home game down at Washington. So rewriting some of those as the lineups are introduced to the crowd on hand here. Let's turn now to the Martinsburg Bulldogs, 11-2, winners of 8 in a row, led by Dave Rogers in his 41st year as a head coach here at Martinsburg. 776 wins, 222 losses, assisted by Bruce Fowler, Richard Moore, Chris Berg, and Darrell Smith. For the Dogs, Dorn Smith, the 6'3 junior, will start at forward. Telrin Villa is a 6'3 senior forward. Garrett Stobbs, a 6'1 junior guard. Teddy Marshall, a 6'2 senior guard. And Anthony Smith is a 6'1 junior guard. Don't forget Kamari and Dow, Trey Sager, Cyril Ngasa, and Avion Blackwell. 4 Bulldogs that will not be available tonight due to sickness. Lineups brought to you by D&N Auto Specialist, where honesty is their best policy. They specialize in exhaust alignments and tires. Give them a call at 304-267-4078. Well, as the Junior ROTC presents the colors, and we pause here for the national anthem, we take a 2-minute break and then return to the field house. It's Martinsburg and Washington on Talk Radio, WRNR, and TV 10.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Martinsburg Fieldhouse, along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Eric Sterick running our TV10 camera today. Colin McLaughlin is our engineer and producer at the studio. Martinsburg breaking out of the huddle at the bench below us to our right. They're in the white uniforms, black lettering, orange trim. The Matt Crawford version of Dogs on the front of the jersey tops. That's DAWGS.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Not at all. He is coming from Southern High School down in what is it, Anne Arundel County,
Yep.
Maryland, the home of the Dogs, which also spelled it that way. Washington out on the floor in the dark blue uniforms, white lettering, and red trim. Washington across the front of their jersey tops. That's Danny Moylan in the center circle for Washington. Telrin Villa for Martinsburg. 3 officials to work this one. Ball in the air. Tip controlled in the back court by Jalen Wright. Washington basketball, they'll shoot at the hoop to our right. Nice pass down along the baseline left side to Liam Morris, but good defense by the Dogs forces him to bring it out. Controlling that dribble is Jalen Puller. Into the lane, kicks it out to Morris. From the right side is 3, off the back of the rim. Whoa, could have been a foul going after the rebound. No foul called. Jalen Wright had it. Poked away from him. Anthony Smith to the rim, and the layup good. Nice drive, Anthony Smith, after picking up that loose ball right at the end of the missed shot. And now here is a pass in the lane stolen by Anthony Smith. Down the floor to Teddy Marshall. Driving in on the right angle. He banks it up and in off the glass. So a turnover for Washington leads to 2 quick points.
Yeah, back-to-back turnovers for Washington. That has led to all 4 Bulldog points. Haven't really needed to set up their offense yet. And for Washington, a couple of good offensive sets, just, again, trying to work passes in that weren't necessary, and, again, some loose balls that were run down by Martinsburg.
From the left corner, 3 ball off the mark for Liam Morris, and the rebound underneath to Puller. Got it back to Morris, and now they'll reset the offense. Trey Jackson sending to Puller. His left corner 3 on the way. Hits off the back of the rim. Puller follows, gets his own rebound, and this time the putback is good. So Jalen Puller gets 2. 3 opportunities thanks to 2 offensive rebounds, allowing Washington to get on the board. 4-2, that Bulldog lead. Zone defense now being applied by the Patriots. Dogs working around the perimeter. Deep 3 from the right sideline, up and good for Teddy Marshall, his 21st on the season. He's got 5 quick points.
And Teddy usually tries a 3 early on in the ball game to kind of test whether he's feeling it from beyond the arc early or not. And it is bad news for Washington, but good news for Martinsburg if he gets hot from beyond the arc.
Liam Morris out top, sending around to Moylan. His left side 3 rolls around the rim and out. Telrin Villa battles, has the rebound, going to take it up the floor himself. Bounces it off to Dorn Smith, cutting in on the right angle. Underhand scoop shot, tipped away and no good. The rebound controlled by Moylan to Puller in the front court, and a traveling violation. Puller losing his footing, really kind of dribbled himself into no man's land where 3 defenders were around him.
Yeah, it was going one-on-one and just ended up driving into double coverage, and Coach Hilliard wants a timeout to talk to his Patriots.
There you go. Let's take the 30-second break as well. A 30-second timeout with 5:48 remaining in quarter number 1, and Martinsburg leading 7-2.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
A quick timeout taken by Washington to try to settle things down as the Bulldogs have a 7-2 lead, 5:43 and counting, quarter number 1. The Dogs shooting at the basket to our left. Out top, that's Stobbs dribbling to the foul line, bounced a pass down low intended for Dorn Smith, couldn't handle it, back the other way, Washington. That's Jackson who takes it all the way down the left side of the lane to the rim and banks it up and in. Trey Jackson, the junior, cuts the deficit to 7-4. Nice drive that time by Jackson. Came in averaging about 7 a contest, scored 4 when these teams met back on January 14th. Nice bounce feed. Anthony Smith in the paint, getting it to Teddy Marshall, and Marshall with the left hand banks it up and in. Lob feed down the floor to Wright, and he could not keep it from going out of bounds. That lob feed to Jalen Wright. The junior got it but was under the backboard. Tried to tiptoe along the baseline but stepped out of bounds. 9-4 the Martinsburg advantage, and 7 of the 9 points have come for Teddy Marshall, who came in averaging 16 a game.
And Teddy only 7 the last time these two teams saw each other down in Charlestown. Good finish on the left side by Dorn Smith.
Yeah, nice pass. Garrett Stobbs down low to Smith for his first 2. Dorn Smith averaging about 9 a game. Right out top, gave a little ball fake and then floats it up down the left side of the lane, and the big fella gets it to go. It's a nice shot. Good touch. 11-6 the Martinsburg advantage. Back the other way from the left wing. That's Teddy Marshall firing and connecting on another three. Quickly down the floor. Moylan taking it in on the left angle as his shot rejected out of bounds. That's Teddy Marshall on the block. It'll stay with Washington with Martinsburg in front 14-6. Teddy Marshall's doing it on both ends of the floor to get this one started.
Getting back in transition defense. Nice swat right in front of the cheerleaders.
And Liam Morris triggering that inbounds. Jackson swings it around to Morris now on this right wing beyond the arc. Put it on the floor with a left-hand dribble, and then his pass poked away and stolen. It's Telrin Villa going to the rack, and the one-hand slam dunk for Telrin Villa. Oh, you know that's coming anytime he gets a breakaway. 16-6 the Bulldog advantage, and Moylan's pass to Morris cutting to the basket through his hands right under the rim. Out of bounds, another turnover. I've got 4 early ones for the Patriots.
Yeah, just sloppy basketball so far for Washington and trying to put up threes very quickly in the offensive set, and when you put up a three and miss it hard off the iron, that sets up usually a fast break the other way, and you do not want to get in a sprinting match with Martinsburg.
Teddy Marshall on a drive on the angle left side, and he is fouled. I've got to look it up on our roster sheet. I do not have the number 1, so that is Terrence Jones. So Terrence Jones is seeing action, committing that personal foul. The inbounds for the Dogs goes to Dorn Smith, and his 16-footer from straight away up and good. He's got 2 baskets, 4 points in the early going. Cutting into the lane, Puller has the ball poked away by Anthony Smith. It's a steal ahead to Marshall, to Villa, cutting to the basket. It is stripped out of his hand by Jones and will actually go out of bounds off Martinsburg. Oh, boy, the Bulldogs had a fast break opportunity, but could not take advantage.
Can't convert on all of them. They've been pretty successful in the fast break tonight, Matt.
18-6, that Martinsburg advantage. Out at 12, under 3.5 remaining here in our opening quarter. Jones with it in this right corner. Gives it out to Wright. Back along the sideline to Moylan. He'll give it right back to Wright. Dribble penetration down to the low post right side. Spun back to his left and put the short shot up and in.
A couple of good big man moves right there for Jalen Wright. We've seen a floater on the left side on the low block and then a good spin on this near side low block.
He's got 4 early points, 18-8. The Bulldog lead at 10. Teddy Marshall trying a drive, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Marshall had lost his footing, regained control of the ball, and that's when the whistle came, and that's a tough one on Trey Jackson. I didn't see the contact, but the junior on his 3rd year of varsity basketball called with that personal. Inbounds pass in the back, into the front court, but knocked away from Telrin Villa out of bounds, and the Dogs will try again.
Yeah, Danny Moylan poking that out of bounds. Villa, I think, very willing to let that one be poked out of bounds. Nothing he was going to be able to do with that one, kind of tiptoeing the sideline.
Teddy Marshall with a nice hesitation move, drives it into the lane. Left-hand shot wouldn't go. Villa's rebound and put back. It rolls around the rim and out, and Moylan grabs this rebound for the Washington Patriots. It'll be Jackson bringing it up the floor. Stripped as he got to the midcourt stripe. Grabbed by Dorn Smith. He'll give it off to Teddy Marshall. Drives it in for the underhand layup. Marshall having a big opening quarter. 20-8, the Martinsburg lead, and Marshall gets a steal and the short baseline jumper on that left baseline. Got that steal in the backcourt and quickly turned it into points. And an almost turnover again on the inbounds. This time, though, Jackson in a double team at midcourt, able to get it off to Jones. In the lane, his floater off the rim, no good. Wright grabs the rebound. His short shot in the paint up and good. Jalen Wright keeping him in it right now.
And about 14 of the first 22 for the Dogs going to Teddy Marshall.
Whew. Anthony Smith with a drive into the lane. A lot of contact. No foul called as he missed it wide right. The Scott Norwood shot. Sorry, I had to bring it up. It was Super Bowl week, right? That was Moylan down the floor, giving to Trey Jackson, cutting along the left baseline, and Jackson banks it in off the glass. 22-12. Quick little burst for the Patriots to get back to within 10. Teddy Marshall deep right side near that sideline, guarded by Jackson. 1:30 and counting in our opening quarter. Around the screen set by Villa. Marshall bounces it low post to Villa. He turns to his left. Again, some contact. No foul called. Missed the shot. Rebound to Jackson. Down the floor, Jones tips it to Moylan. He drives in and misses the shot and will go the other direction. Teddy Marshall, the outlet to Dorn Smith. Smith into the front court. Stops inside the foul line. Pops, but the 14-footer off the rim, no good. Garrett Stobbs got the rebound and almost got his head taken off. Gibson off two. Telrin Villa from the foul line, and the 15-footer is good. I've heard of letting them play, but this may be a little overboard.
I was going to say, this is not tic-tac fouls you're letting them play. That was almost a clothesline down low of Garrett Stobbs.
Jones in a double team, low post right side, spins, and there's contact, and now we get more of one of the touch foul calls as Dorn Smith will pick up the personal. And that's the thing, you see an awful lot of contact, and then you get one like that kind of leaves you scratching your head. Each team now with one foul. Thank you, Scott Bradley. Not often you can have a Scott Norwood comment into a high school basketball game.
You know, annoyed some Bills fans somewhere listening.
I apologize. My brother, a big rooter for the Bills in that era, so I apologize if he is listening. Jones misses that first free throw.
The first foul shot of this game, coming with 45.6 left in the first quarter. That is not something you see often in high school basketball.
Second free throw on the way. This one is short off the rim. Telrin Villa high into the air after a great box out. He's got the rebound. Quick outlet up the floor. Teddy Marshall driving in. Right hands it up and in off the glass. How about 16 in the opening quarter?
How about I'm running out of room on my score sheet already for this first half, and it's only the first quarter. A lot of contact again on Jones, and no call. Telrin Villa will take it.
Well, and now, after Martinsburg controlled, it is knocked away by Jones. He will get it in the left corner to Puller, and Jalen Puller drains the three down to 16-15. And Teddy Marshall's lob into the lane intended for Villa, stolen by Puller. Jones with it beyond the arc on that left side, gives to Puller down on the baseline, down to 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4. Jones works it to Jackson, low post left side. His shot comes off the glass and the rim, no good. Villa grabs the rebound. The horn sounds, and we will head to quarter number 2 after this 60-second break. At the end of one, Martinsburg leads Washington 26-15.
It's one of the toughest times you'll ever face when someone close to you passes away. It's a swirl of papers to sign and arrangements to be made, all while you're dealing with grief. At Brown Funeral Home, we encourage you to pre-plan. Pre-planning not only makes things easier for you, it protects you from rising costs. At Brown Funeral Home, our families are precious to us, and so are yours. Brown Funeral Home in Martinsburg, Inwood, and Charlestown, Ranson.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Eric Sterick runs our TV10 camera tonight. Colin McLaughlin is our engineer-producer back at the studio. After one, 26-15 Martinsburg. It was a tight game early at 4-2, but then the Dogs raced out to a 7-2 lead after Washington cut it to 7-4. Martinsburg pushed it out to 11-4. Washington cut it to 11-6, and then Martinsburg went on a 7-0 run, pushed that lead out to 12 at 18-6, and then just continued to move from there. Washington with just a little burst in that first quarter, but haven't been able to keep up. Anthony Smith down the left side of the lane, misses the layup attempt as it rolled around the rim and out, but we've got a blocking foul on Terrence Jones.
I believe going to be foul number 2 on Terrence Jones.
Is it? I think it's just number 1 on him. I had Jackson with the other one, Trey Jackson.
I had Jackson with one as well.
Oh, wow. So they now do put 3 fouls up on the scoreboard. I missed one apparently earlier. So
that's what I'm here for, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And it sends Anthony Smith to the line where he's a 66% foul shooter, 19 of 29, and make it now 20 of 30 on the season. Liam Morris back in as Jones will sit down in a little foul trouble. Anthony Smith, averaging about 10 points a game, now has 4 as he makes both of those free throws. And the Bulldog lead is 28-15.
See if both these teams can settle down a little bit, although I'm sure if you're Martinsburg and Coach Rogers, for the most part, you like the intensity, but even Martinsburg was getting a little sloppy there at the end of that first quarter, a couple of late turnovers.
It'll be Jackson driving baseline left side. His shot comes off the backboard of the rim, but he gets his own rebound. Trey Jackson then feeds to Liam Morris in the lane, but hang on, it'll be a traveling violation. Yep, Morris shuffled the feet with defenders around him. 28-15 score remains.
And I love how that call comes from the furthest official away from the basketball.
He had a better angle. Teddy Marshall working his way into the front court for the Dogs. Giving to Dorn Smith. Elbow right side of the lane. Gives right back to Marshall. He'll back up on that right wing for 3 and knocks it down. Picks up where he left off after 1. He's got 19 early points. 31-15, the Bulldog advantage.
He's got to be closing on a season high already, and it's just a minute into the first half. Or the second quarter, rather.
Pardon me, Davion Carr with a mid-range jumper knocks it down, cutting that deficit 31-17, the Martinsburg advantage. Pass on the far side, knocked away and stolen. Good defense, Trey Jackson. Jackson to the rim. Oh, but it's off the front side of the rim. Couldn't tell whether he wanted to try to slam it or just lay it over, and it ended up coming off the rim. Back the other way, Telrin Villa in the lane. Short jumper off the mark. Dorn Smith's putback wouldn't go. Villa keeps it alive. Out of bounds to Washington.
And Telrin Villa's got to feel a little snake bit in these last few days. He has not been able to get anything to fall right around the rim. He started to get that 15-foot jump shot back, especially from the foul line extended. But ever since that Hedgesville game where he got an early foul trouble, just has not been able to consistently find a lot of success near the rim, and that's continuing so far tonight.
Washington basketball. Liam Morris with a nice drive on the angle right side, and his shot up and good off the glass, his first 2 points. 31-19, Martinsburg in front. Almost 2 minutes have gone by here in quarter number 2. Teddy Marshall dribbling to his right. Passes down low to Smith, out to Villa from the right corner. Telrin Villa's 3 off the mark. Rebound to Carr, quick outlet to Jackson. Jackson down the right side of the lane, lays it up and in off the glass. 31-21, and just like that, Washington on a little run is back to within 10.
And Trey Jackson, 6 points already in this one. The first time these two teams met down in Charlestown, he finished with just 4, and all 4 of those came in the second half.
Teddy Marshall with a deep 3 from the left wing. It rims in and out, but Dorn Smith's there for the rebound in a triple team. Turns, passes out top, stops for 3. He misses it wide to the left. Rebound tipped around. Dorn Smith gets it back right, hands it up off the glass. It pops around the rim and out. No good, but 2 free throws will be coming. And again, multiple offensive rebounds for the Bulldogs, and it leads to the second foul on Trey Jackson. He and Terrence Jones now each have 2. And Dogs right now getting it done on the offensive glass. Part of the reason they have this 10-point lead. And at the line, Dorn Smith, a 57% foul shooter, 12 of 21 coming in, and misses the first.
Which means odds are I'll sink the second one.
Let's see what happens. Are you playing the odds?
I am.
You are. He makes it. Gets 1 out of 2. It's a 32-21 Bulldog lead. Washington basketball. That's Carr from the left corner, and Davion Carr knocks it down. He's got 5 since coming in off the bench. 32-24, that Martinsburg advantage, and head coach Dave Rogers not happy with the defense. He calls for a full timeout. Let's take that 60-second break as well with 5:05 to play in the first half. Martinsburg leads 32-24.
Gave it away. He wasn't happy.
I believe the fact that I heard him.
I can't tell anything.
Over everything else in this channel.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
Basketball is my favorite.
Terps scored a whopping 20 in that first half.
Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge.
By head coach Dave Rogers. Did not like what happened on the defensive end and trying to straighten those things out. Now let's see what the Dogs do as they work into the offensive end. Anthony Smith controlling the dribble, sending on the near side to Stobbs. As the defender went by, he worked his way inside the lane. Foul line extended. Garrett Stobbs hits the jump shot. Lob feed quickly down the floor. Wright's got it. He banks it in off the glass. Jalen Wright had 26 the last time these two got together. He is having a good start to this one.
And well on pace with 8 already.
Telrin Villa with it on the right baseline, but we've got a reach-in foul. Trying to get that ball from him was Davion Carr, the junior in his second year on the varsity level. Has his first and team foul, number 5. Stobbs with the inbounds. Looking. Lobbing out top where Telrin Villa's got it from the right side of the key. His 3 off the rim. Dorn Smith put back wouldn't go. Garrett Stobbs battling for it, but coming out of there is Puller.
I know that Dorn Smith didn't get that put back, but I love the aggression and not bringing the basketball down, just going right back up with it.
Along the baseline left side, Moylan gets into a double team, has to pass it out to Puller. Puller giving it off to Liam Morris, and just inside the foul line to the right portion of the lane. His jumper is good. Morris has his first 2.
Yeah, I'm guessing Morris some sort of nose injury. He's got the clear mask on that's securing that nose. Not sure if it's broken or when that happened. Didn't have it on when we were down in Charlestown about a month ago, but doing pretty good. He's got 4 points with the mask on tonight.
Telrin Villa dribbling to his right. Gives a pass off to Anthony Smith on that right wing. Back out to Stobbs and down to Dorn Smith along the left baseline. Going against Wright, he spins, gets to the rim and puts it up and in. Nice move by the 6'3 junior.
I think that was the case where it was Jalen Wright just not able to keep up with how many quick moves that Dorn Smith was making.
A very strong drive and a strong finish. Puller around a screen set by Carr. Fires the 3 from straight away. It's off the mark, too strong. Rebound to Stobbs. Outlet to Dorn Smith. To Teddy Marshall on the right sideline. Working to his left. Gets into the lane. Feeds to Telrin Villa. Villa now has to pass it off to Dorn Smith. Left side, his 15-footer rims out. Smith had the rebound. It was poked away and out of bounds off Jalen Wright. And the Dogs maintain possession. I got the Dogs now at 17 rebounds to 12 for the Patriots. Martinsburg has had as big as a 12-point lead, but right now just an 8-point cushion, 36-28. Telrin Villa low post left side, spins baseline again, fights through some contact but puts it up and in. That's a strong move.
It is very strong down low, good spin move and going up. I think expecting a little bit of contact down low, but good body control and good touch on that shot off the glass.
And the Dogs push that lead back out to 10. Open along the right side of the floor, making his drive to the basket is Taylor Bosley, and he ran over the top of Garrett Stobbs, who was a little late in getting there. Both players kind of trying to, hang on, that was Dorn Smith.
Yeah, I was going to say that was an 11, not a 14 down
My
low.
apologies. Dorn Smith. They got their feet tangled up, and Smith gets called for the blocking foul. That's 2 on him. Coach Rogers is going to pull Dorn Smith out and bring in Jarvis Thurston. So the Dogs will get a little smaller in the lineup. Moylan taking that inbounds in front of the Bulldog bench, dribbling to his left, gets to the lane, drives to the basket, shot wouldn't go. Carr keeps it alive, now loose on the floor. Moylan has it, but he stands up with it. He was on the floor and then stood up and put it in. They call a travel.
I'm not sure he wasn't. He had possession when he stood. That ball was still loose down low. The Dogs will take it, and points come off the board for Washington, but I could have seen that go either way.
So Teddy Marshall now into the front court, down the right side of the lane, puts up an acrobatic shot off the glass and the rim. It's no good, but 2 foul shots coming. Personal going on. It looks like Carr. So Davian Carr now has his second. So you've got 3 players with the 2 fouls each right now for the Patriots. Sends Marshall to the charity stripe, and his free throw up and good. He's an 83% foul shooter now, 50 of 60 on the season. The senior's up to 20 points, and that'll stay at 20 as the second foul shot rattles out, no good. 39-28, the Martinsburg lead, and a long down floor pass for Washington, taken away by Anthony Smith. Smith into the front court, giving to Garrett Stobbs. His left side three is up and good. Stobbs with his 20th of the season. He's got 5 second quarter points. Washington, though, quickly the other way. They work it to Davion Carr down the left of the lane. His layup is good. Coach Rogers not happy again. Got to get back defensively. Good no-look pass down low. Marshall hitting the open Stobbs. His layup is good. It's a 44-30 Martinsburg advantage, and head coach Trent Hilliard needs a timeout. It will be a full timeout, so again, we'll take 60 seconds with 1:52 to play in the first half. We step aside with Martinsburg in front by 14.
Remember that last trip to the auto mechanic?
I also think your solenoid gasket is bad.
What?
Yep, that'll be another $500.
Forget that and go to D&N Auto Specialist at 230 Tavern Road, Martinsburg, where honesty is their best policy. Serving the Eastern Panhandle since 1974, D&N Auto is family-owned and operated, specializing in exhaust alignments and tires. From general maintenance to major overhauls, they'll treat you right. Call D&N Auto Specialist at 304-267-4078. Who should you call when it comes to your real estate legal needs?
This is Chris Luttrell, local real estate attorney with offices in Martinsburg and Charlestown. Let's be direct. Buying or selling your home is a matter not to be taken lightly. At my firm, Luttrell LC, we possess the experience and knowledge to represent you and ensure your most important investment is protected. Give us a call at 304-267-3050, 304-267-3050, because at Luttrell LC, your home is our business.
Well, the Bulldogs push that lead out to 14. Matt, this game playing very similar to the first meeting between the two. Every time Martinsburg, would get a big lead, Washington would make a run, and
they're hanging around.
There you go.
Martinsburg has not really been able to put their foot on the gas completely yet, or at least put that foot to the floor yet. The Patriots doing a good job defensively and offensively of just hanging around.
Danny Moylan sending to Puller here on this right side of the floor. Makes a spin, drives the baseline, left hands it up, rolls around the rim and out, no good. Tip attempt for Morris would not go. This time Marshall comes away with it. Bulldog basketball. Teddy Marshall bounces a pass intended for Jarvis Thurston, but bounced it out of bounds.
Matt, back to the shot by Puller. I don't know how that ball could have gone any further down in the cylinder and not fallen. Just got robbed of 2 points by the basket.
Sometimes you put those up and they go through, and you talk about that English on the ball. This one, it just had the wrong English.
Spun right back up.
So 117 and counting in our first half. The Dogs holding that 14-point lead. Patriot basketball right. Low post right side spinning to his left. And the 12 to 13-foot jumper up and good. Jalen Wright's got 10 first half points.
Yeah, really good presence down low. Good body control and good big man moves on the low block. That one nice turnaround fadeaway jump shot from about, 5 feet?
Yeah, the junior came in averaging 11 points a contest, and he is at that already. And we've got a whistle away from the ball, and we'll have a moving screen. That will go on, it looks like Danny Moylan, and that would be his first, but it is the team's 7th. And that would send to the line. It might be Garrett. I thought it was Garrett Stobbs that I saw that kind of stumbled his way around that screen. And so, yep, it is Stobbs going for the 1-and-1. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Stobbs has knocked down 23s on the season, but it's just 5 of 11 from the line.
You really do pick one stat to go with each game that you love to follow.
I'm just saying, for whatever reason, he has struggled at the line, and the struggle continues. The struggle is real, man. Rebound, Davion Carr. Back the other way, Washington has it. 45 seconds and counting. Puller dribbling down towards that right baseline. Double team comes to him. That was Garrett Stobbs who got a hand on it. It's safe from going out of bounds by Marshall. He got it to Villa. Villa in the lane to Anthony Smith. Layup good, counted, and there's a foul. Oh, great hustle by Teddy Marshall, saving it from going out of bounds on one end, and then the great pass to get it to Anthony Smith for the bucket and the foul.
And I don't think there's any way Teddy was expecting that pass as he was falling out of bounds and not looking behind him to turn into a 3-on-1 break. That's exactly what it did.
Well, we had the horn sounding as the player was shooting the free throw. Let's wait and see what is going on down at the scorer's table. There is some kind of a question at the scorer's table. Right now, they haven't put that foul up on the board yet. They still have just one foul on Danny Moylan, and I think that might have been part of the question. Who was the foul actually on? It is. So the foul shot was good. Anthony Smith does get credit for knocking down that free throw, but again, they have yet to put who that last foul was on. So we have an extra foul on the board, but not sure who to put it against. Moylan penetrating into the lane, kicks to Puller, right corner three on the way, got it. Jalen Puller has his second three of the night. Lob pass down the floor, intended for Telrin Villa, off the back of a defender, grabbed by Jarvis Thurston. He threw it out deep on this left wing where the ball ends up going out of bounds, but let's see. Last touching Jalen Puller, who was trying to run it down. Well, so Martinsburg catches a break to maintain the possession.
You like the intensity by both players chasing that one out of bounds. I think whoever got to the basketball first was probably going to get charged with a turnover for their team, but you got to love the intensity.
Anthony Smith taking the inbounds into the front court, down to 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4. Garrett Stobbs giving it off to Telrin Villa, left of the lane, working against Wright, and we get a whistle with 0.5 seconds on the second quarter clock, and we'll get that foul. That will go on Jalen Wright. We'll have that as his first foul. And that will send Telrin Villa to the charity stripe, a 70% foul shooter. That free throw. Up and good. Villa now has 7 in this first half. Now 53 makes in 75 of free throw attempts, leads this team in opportunities at the foul line. This foul shot on the way and good. He gets them both. 49-35 Martinsburg. The inbound's going to Moylan. He'll throw one length of the floor, not even close. And no, it did not hit the partition in the middle of the gym. Matt looked at me and I knew exactly where he was going. All right, we have reached the intermission. Our halftime brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Give them a call at 304-263-3361. We've got a 60-second break, and then we're back to get our halftime activities underway with Martinsburg leading Washington 49-35.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
We welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse, where along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, Eric Sterick running our TV10 camera, Colin McLaughlin, our producer-engineer, back at the studio. The Velocity Dance Team entertaining the crowd on hand here at the Fieldhouse after a somewhat entertaining first half. Certainly both teams got up and down the floor. Not the cleanest basketball game by any stretch, but nonetheless, here we are at the half with Martinsburg in front by 14. And Matt, it's been a different tempo type of game, if you will, as Martinsburg got out to the early 12-point lead at 18-6. It was an 11-point lead after one. Each time you thought Martinsburg was ready to kind of run away with it, Washington gets a little run together of their own, but Martinsburg closing on a nice run has pushed that lead right back out again to 14.
Yeah, but Washington hanging around 26-15 Bulldogs after one quarter. But then Martinsburg only outscoring Washington by 3 in quarter number 2, 23-20, bringing us to our halftime score of 49-35. So again, it's a case where there's been just one more spurt in that second quarter, I think is the best way to put it, for Martinsburg. But impressed with the resiliency of Washington, as I was the first time we saw these two teams. Yep. I think you can see that athleticism, or I shouldn't say athleticism, but the quickness and the up-tempo play definitely favors the Martinsburg Bulldogs. But once again, Jalen Wright, just the size down low that Martinsburg cannot compete with, and especially tonight with that Trey Sager, he once again is in double figures in the first half. Actually, he only had 8 in the first half, the first game finishing with 26, but 10 in this first half tonight. He has been a big presence down low.
Now Martinsburg with the lead at the half. We'll take a commercial break. On the other side, see what else is going on around the Eastern Panhandle Athletic Conference, and we'll check in on the freshman and JV scores for Martinsburg basketball. Right now a 60-second break, and then back to the field house where Martinsburg leads Washington 49-35.
Hello, I'm Michael Falk, a lifelong resident of West Virginia, husband and father. I worked my way through school and life with honesty, hard work, and determination. These principles have served me well in athletics, education, farming, and aviation, and have carried me through years of fighting for a more accountable government at the local and state level. These same core principles will allow me to serve you well in Charleston. I believe true leadership is sticking your neck out for right, even when it goes against the establishment. You can help me put principle over politics and beat the odds one more time.
My family, we're always on the move. Little brother is living it up.
What's up, sis?
See Mom make dinner?
I will see you there.
And my big brother, he's got his hands full. But when Mom says come home for dinner, what could possibly stand in our way? Nothing. When you're part of a family like this, you always show up. The Honda family of SUVs, awarded Best SUV Brand for 2019.
Miller Honda, south of Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. www.mymillerhonda.com.
All right, back again here at the field house where, Matt, earlier it was Martinsburg falling to Washington in the JV game 50-43. Washington had an 8-point lead at the half at 30-22. Martinsburg rallied, but that rally ultimately fell short.
Yeah, it did, and it was a comeback effort to win the first time those two teams got together for Martinsburg. It was a span of a couple comebacks for the Dogs at the JV level, but they were able to get the win on the road, and this evening Washington able to return the favor on the road, getting the win here at the Fieldhouse.
And it snaps an 8-game winning streak for the Dogs. They had lost their opener, then won 8 in a row before the loss tonight.
And it got back to within 2, 43-41, I believe is what the score was, and we had come upstairs from the locker room getting our pregame interview with Coach Rogers, but just as close it got to 2, Washington was able to extend the lead back out again and end up going on for the win.
Meanwhile, freshman boys basketball, a victory over Greencastle Antrim last night, 33-31, avenging an earlier season loss on the road when the Dogs lost 48-33 in that one. Head coach Chris Berg telling us they were down a few players who are dealing with sickness, just like the varsity team is tonight, and yet they were able to get the win on a last-second layup as the horn sounded. The freshman boys are now 7-3, and they will be playing Spring Mills coming up. I believe that may be tomorrow. All right, yesterday in boys action, Hedgesville improved to 13-3. They knocked off Winners Mill by a 56-35 score last night. And on the girls' side, Martinsburg has won 12 in a row. They're 13-2. They scored a 53-24 win at Washington, while Musselman defeated Jefferson 46-39, setting up a big showdown with Martinsburg and Musselman in girls play. That one will be right here on Thursday night. We need to take another 60-second break. Then we will come back and wrap up our Smallwood Small Insurance halftime show as we run the numbers from the first half. We're at the intermission with Martinsburg leading Washington 49-35.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
They're my closest friends. We've been through a lot together. Seeing our kids off to college, Kelly losing her mom, my 50th birthday, I trust them with so much. So when it came to my final...
They look like this for Martinsburg. 7 points for Doran Smith, 8 for Telrin Villa, 2 for 2 from the line for Villa. Doran Smith, 1 for 2 from the charity stripe. Garrett Stobbs, 7 points. He is 0 for 1 from the foul line. 20 points leading all scorers is Teddy Marshall. He is 1 for 2 from the foul line, and 7 points for Anthony Smith. He is a perfect 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. For the Washington Patriots, their individual numbers look like this for the first half. Trey Jackson, 6 points. Jalen Pooler has 8 points, including 2 3-pointers, 1 in each of the first 2 quarters. 10 points for Jalen Wright, leading the Patriots scoring-wise. A couple of buckets for Liam Morris. He's got 4 points, all 4 of those coming in quarter number 2. And hitting at 3 was Davian Carr, adding a couple of buckets on top of that gives him 7. Those are your individual numbers. Terrence Jones, 0 for 2 from the charity stripe. Those are your individual numbers. Matt, some team numbers.
All right, 4 3-pointers made by the Dogs in the first half, 3 made by the Washington Patriots. For the Dogs, 3 of their 4 coming from Teddy Marshall, the other from Garrett Stobbs. Jalen Puller hit a 3. Davion Carr hit a 3, and let's see, it was actually Puller hitting 2 threes. So Puller with multiple 3-pointers in that first half. Carr had the other for the Patriots. I've got the Dogs 7 of 10 from the charity stripe. That's 70%. Washington took just the 2 free throws from Terrence Jones, and he did not make either one. 9 fouls committed by the Patriots, 2 by the Bulldogs. I've got Martinsburg really just +2 in rebounding. Can you believe that? 18-16. Big thing is they've gotten a lot of them on that offensive end. Turnovers, 10 for the Patriots and 5 for the Bulldogs. First half stats brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more at folk4wv.com. And it wraps up our halftime. That's brought to you by Smallwood Small Insurance, your total insurance solution. They're at 121 Administrative Drive in Martinsburg. Here we go, second half to get underway with Washington getting the basketball. Liam Morris, Jalen Puller, along with Jalen Wright, Trey Jackson, and Danny Moylan on the floor. Back to their starting 5. Martinsburg will go with Anthony Endorn Smith, along with Teddy Marshall, Telrin Villa, and Garrett Stobbs. Starting 5 back out there for Martinsburg. Now shooting at the hoop to our left, Patriot basketball. They'll work it to Wright in that right corner. To Moylan on that wing. Passes to Trey Jackson. Went right by Liam Morris. Jackson driving down the left side of the lane. Shot didn't go. Put back for Moylan is up and good. He went right over the top of Teddy Marshall, and Danny Moylan puts it through.
Yeah, but did it legally. He was using that height, wasn't over the back, didn't make contact going over the back, just used that little bit of size advantage to his advantage.
Garrett Stobbs on the right wing beyond that three-point line. Gives it off to Anthony Smith. Penetrating into the lane. His underhand scoop shot would not go again. Seemed to be some contact. Telrin Villa comes away with it. Villa spinning to his left into the lane, and there's a whistle and a foul. That one might go on Jalen Wright, and if so, that will be his second. There it is. Wright, the junior big man inside, now has 2 fouls.
Deuces are wild when it comes to fouls for Washington now. 3 or 4 now different players with 2 fouls. Again, with 2 fouls this early in the second half, not necessarily something that you should worry about, just something to pay attention to as we go down the stretch. Telrin Villa connection on the first of 2 foul shots.
He's now 3 for 3 from the line tonight. He's got 9 points, heading into double figures. If he can hit this one, no, it rattles in and out. Back and forth in the rim and then off the backboard, and the rebound going to the Patriots. Into the lane, Jackson going to kick to Moylan. Deep 3 right side, got it. Nice shot, Danny Moylan. He's got 5 points in the quarter.
Yeah, Moylan able to take his time, set his feet. Good form going straight up. That perfect L on that shooting hand. Good follow through. He's able to knock down the 3.
Garrett Stobbs down the right side of the lane, takes the bounce feed from Anthony Smith, and Garrett Stobbs puts it in off the glass.
And, man, I know we've talked about this the last several games, but I'm still getting more and more impressed with the evolution of Garrett Stobbs' game, moving from a most of the time perimeter player to be able to move down low and make the shots close to the basket offensively and being a good inside defender as well.
Good ball movement by the Patriots. They get it to Liam Morris. His jumper in the lane is good. That mid-range jumper, a lost art it seems in this day and age. 52-42, that Bulldog lead still at 10. Eddie Marshall beyond the arc on this right side, giving down low to Dorn Smith, turn baseline, but an air ball a little too short. I think he thought he might have been a little closer. Also some good defense by Wright, who grabs the basketball and gets it down the floor to Danny Moylan. He takes it down the right side of the lane and puts it in. 52-44, and it's under a 10-point deficit. Washington again, very pesky. Stobbs near that left sideline, giving out top to Teddy Marshall. Gave a jab step to the right, goes to the left, draws contact. A very late whistle as that underhand scoop shot came off the backboard and barely skimmed the rim if it did. And that personal goes on Trey Jackson. It's his 3rd. So Teddy Marshall goes back to the line where he was just 1 for 2 in that 20-point first half. Takes the ball, a couple of dribbles, and puts it up and no good. Well, after going 7 of 10 in the first half, Martinsburg 1 of 3 from the charity stripe to start the second half, and Terrence Jones has checked back into that Washington lineup.
We've yet to see them have 2 opposite halves at the foul line. We've seen opposite games at the foul line for this Dogs team, but usually they've been pretty consistent when they've been on and equally bad when they haven't been on from the foul line.
53-44, the Martinsburg lead, and the pass goes off the hands of Liam Morris, taken away by the Dogs. Here it's Stobbs working into the front court, going to Anthony Smith. Crossover dribble to his left, got it poked away in the lane, but grabbed by Stobbs. Stobbs floater in the lane, rattles around and out. Moylan grabs the rebound. Gives it off to Puller in the backcourt, now across that midcourt stripe. Ahead to Morris on that right sideline. Dribbles down to the baseline. Gives to Puller. Cutting. A traveling violation could have been called as he was left of the lane floating up a shot. It was an air ball short. Telrenvilla the rebound. Outlet to Anthony Smith. Into the lane. Passes to Stobbs. Right side 3. Hits off the mark. Rebound Moylan. Ball poked away by Smith. Grabbed by Villa. Villa then comes to a jump stop, and Moylan gets called with a reach-in foul.
I don't think Moylan liked that call at all. I think he thought that hand was on the ball, but looked a little lackadaisical once Telrenvilla got the basketball back for the Washington defense. Everybody turning flat-footed right underneath the basket.
So Moylan gets that personal. That'll be his second. Garrett Stobbs to trigger the inbounds baseline right of the basket. Bounces to Telrenvilla, double-teamed in that right low post and goes bumped out of bounds. No foul called. It's a turnover, and quickly the other way. Anthony Smith races in from behind, knocks it away from Danny Moylan as he was wanting to go up for the layup. It's out of bounds on the end line, but Washington will have to inbound.
And not only was that a great defensive play at the end, but the pure hustle of Anthony Smith just to get there and be in that positioning. Great job, number 21.
Inbounds knocked right back out by Dorn Smith, and the Patriots will try again. Moylan bounces it in to Morris, and along the left baseline, his short shot off the rim, no good, but the rebound goes out of bounds, last touching Dorn Smith, and another Patriot opportunity. 53-44, that Martinsburg lead, 4:38 to play, quarter number 3. Moylan giving to Wright along that left baseline. He spins baseline and puts up that jump shot and a whistle and a foul. He didn't get the shot to go as he came short off the rim, but the personal goes on Dorn Smith, and that's now going to be his 3rd. And without Trey Sager, that becomes big because the Dogs are going to have somebody who can help to body up Jalen Wright inside.
And, Matt, have you looked down that foul column for Martinsburg? after saying that foul on Dorrance Smith.
Yeah, he's got the only 3 fouls of the game for Martinsburg. Jalen Wright, who has really done so many things right in this ball game with 10 points in that first half, misses the free throw. Second foul shot on the way, and this one rattles around and pops free. Dorrance Smith had the rebound but ended up losing it out of bounds.
And it came down with it, and just, I don't know whether he was expecting contact, whether he thought it was going to get poked away, what the incident was, but just had that one go out of his control, out of bounds.
Wow, nice jump shot. Terrence Jones taking that inbounds and along the right baseline, pulled up off the dribble from about 8 to 10 feet out. 53-46. That Martinsburg lead has been cut to 7, and we've got a foul at the midcourt stripe as Jones is called for the reach-in, trying to take it away from Teddy Marshall, and now 3 on Jones. So Jones and Jackson, the two guys who are kind of replacing one another, both have 3 fouls.
I bet you I can foul out first.
I don't know. I was a pretty good hacker in my day. I think I might foul out before
Guys
you.
like us, we're always about a half step behind, so it takes that quick hack or quick hook to keep things competitive, right?
Telrenvilla beyond the arc right side, drives it on the angle to the basket and banks it in. 55-46, the Bulldog advantage. 4:03 to play in quarter number 3. Puller into the lane to Jones on that right wing. Moving to his left, a floater in the lane. Misses to the left, but it's because he was fouled. And the personal on the Dogs, Garrett Stobbs. And now Dorrance Smith can feel a little bit better. Somebody else has committed a foul.
Yeah, not often you see just 3 fouls in an entire, or two fouls in the entire half at the high school level, but 3 total through 2.5 quarters and 3 on the same person. First foul shot up and good for Jones.
Jones was 0 for 2 from the line in that first half. And as a team, Washington had missed a pair earlier in this third, those from Wright, so they were 0 for 4 from the line before that make by Jones. This one is on the way, and it is good. He's got 4 points all coming in this third quarter. 55-48. Martinsburg with the lead in the ball. A little better than halfway through quarter number 3. Teddy Marshall around the screen, set by Villa. Stops and pops. Foul line extended right side. Shot good for Teddy Marshall. He's got 23.
His first basket made here in this third quarter. Only made 1 basket in the second quarter after what was an explosive 16-point first quarter.
Liam Morris on a drive along the baseline, had it poked away from behind. Loose ball grabbed by Telrenvilla ahead to Anthony Smith as he takes it down the lane. Smith is fouled going for the shot. That personal on 2-3, Liam Morris. Had his pocket picked on one end and then commits the personal on the other. That was what they call the old New York steal, as Teddy Marshall reached in from behind and picked his pocket. Tipped it right to Telrenvilla, who got it down the floor to Anthony Smith, and Smith at the line good with the free throw. 4 for 4 from the line tonight. He now has 8 points, that is. Making 9 points. 59-48, and just like that, the Dogs push the lead back out to 11. Moylan to answer. Three-pointer straight away off the rim, and it hit the backboard support. From our angle, you can barely see it wiggling just a little bit. That's out of bounds, a team rebound to Martinsburg. So the Dogs with that 11-point lead have the ball now as we near 3 minutes to play in the third. Teddy Marshall, little hesitation, drives into the lane, put it up with the right hand, and draws contact and a foul. 2 free throws are coming. That foul goes on number 1. Yes, Terrence Jones, who now has 4.
And Teddy's going to have to come get a scratch cleaned up. Apparently some blood on that right forearm, so he's going to have to come out of the game. Dorrance Smith going to come in and shoot those free throws. And Teddy doesn't want to come out of the game. He's going, that's not much, just a little scratch. But he's got to come out of the game if there is blood.
So 2 free throws coming, and Dorrance Smith will be the one to take them. He was 1 for 2 in the first half and gets the first one to go. There's that shooter's touch. Hit the front of the rim, had just the right spin on it to kind of pop up into the air and then go down through. 60-48, Martinsburg ready to hit their average the way this one's playing out. Second free throw for Smith, short off the rim. And the rebound controlled by Trey Jackson. Into the front court. It's Morris from the right side, kissing it in off the window. There you go, the stop and pop from about 12 feet out.
Morris 8 points in the first meeting of these two teams. That was his 8th point of this matchup, now 4 in each half. So it looks like he's going to do a little better than he did the first time these two teams played.
Anthony Smith losing his footing as he was trying to make a move down that left side of the lane. The ball ended up going out of bounds. Smith either wanted to foul or thought perhaps that it had gone out off of Liam Morris, but instead that's a Bulldog turnover. So with a 10-point lead, the Dogs want to put on some full-court pressure.
First time we've seen that today for Martinsburg, and token backcourt pressure. Nothing major, easily escaped by Puller.
Puller dribbling near that right sideline. Giving it off in the lane to Morris. He right hands it up and in. Liam Morris cut from the left side of the paint into the lane. Took that feed and got the shot. Now the nice long down the floor pass for the Dogs going to Telrin Villa. His shot in the lane good. 62-52, and Teddy Marshall getting into the passing lane on a deep ball along the far sideline. Tips it out of bounds as the pass was intended for Liam Morris. Don't look down to write on your stat sheet. They are flinging it up and down the floor. Puller to trigger that inbounds. Works to Jackson in that right corner. Lobs down low. Intended for Wright. Running that one down was Davion Carr, but he got run into from behind. And we'll have the foul on Jarvis Thurston.
Heard that whistle blow a few more times in this third quarter than we did in the first half, Matt.
We have. But rightfully so. Liam Morris working that inbounds intended for Wright. Ball got tipped away. It's stolen. It's Jarvis Thurston who's got it. He's going to try to go coast to coast. Missed it short, but Telrin Villa the rebound before he ever came down. He dished it in the paint to Teddy Marshall, and his turnaround little shot up and good. He was right there at the rim to put it in. 64-52, the Bulldog advantage. Liam Morris, low post right side, spinning baseline, banks it up and in. How about Morris? He's got 8 in the quarter and 10 in the game, and Coach Rogers again not happy on the defensive end. 64-54, the Bulldog lead at 10. Coach Rogers calling for that timeout. It's a 30-second timeout. We take the 30-second break as well. Back in 30 with 1:48 to play in quarter number 3. Martinsburg in front by 10.
Carpet World is more than just carpet. Carpet World specializes in a complete selection of hardwood floors by respected names like Armstrong, Bruce, Shaw, and Mohawk, and tile by Dowell Tile, American Oleum, and Mannington for all rooms in your home. And Carpet World can update your bathroom shower with very attractive ceramic tile walls and floor. Financing with up to 12 months deferred interest is available, along with experienced quality installation at Carpet World, 2330 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. CarpetWorldofMartinsburg.com.
Song lyrics abound here in the
It's amazing how much those come up in just casual conversations with us, and you're not even a big music guy.
But certain lyrics stick in the brain, right? Bulldog basketball with a 10-point lead, 1:45 and counting now. As Teddy Marshall dribbles towards the midcourt stripe. Trey Jackson waiting on him there. Telrin Villa takes the pass at the high post, turns to his right, puts up the jumper and gets it to go. Good to see him getting into an offensive groove as he's got 15 on the ball game, 7 here in the third. Morris, ball fake beyond the arc. Left side, dribbles to his right into the lane. Put it up with a right hand, but left it short off the rim, and the rebound tipped out of bounds, belonging to Martinsburg. Been impressed with Liam Morris. He averages about 13 a game right now at 10. Had 8 the last time these teams met. 66-54, that Bulldog lead as we near a minute to play here in quarter number 3. Teddy Marshall driving right baseline, kicks in the left corner to Stobbs. His 3 off the back of the rim. Telrin Villa the rebound, put it on the floor, put it up with a right hand, count it as it rattles around and drops through for Telrin Villa. And there's a foul and a 3-point opportunity. This one may be on Wright, and if so, it'll be foul number 3. Jalen Wright does now have 3 fouls. After 10 in the first half, Wright has missed 2 free throws in this third and has not scored in the second half. Villa's free throw up and good, completing that 3-point play. 69-54 Martinsburg, and Villa now getting a hand into the passing lane on a deep ball down that far sideline, again intended for Jalen Wright.
Yeah, and you and I talked about in the first half and have talked about the last couple of games how Telrin Villa's got to feel a little snake bit and just can't seem to get into that groove at the basket. This third quarter so far, it seems like he's getting that rhythm back and getting some shots to fall, and that's going to do a lot for the confidence in number 12.
10 in the quarter. He's got 18 in the ball game, just under his average of almost 20. Puller dribbling from left to right, got into the lane, put it up, wouldn't go, but Davion Carr there had great position inside. Carr gets the rebound and the putback basket, and he'll get a three-point opportunity. The foul goes on Martinsburg's Garrett Stobbs. It's his second.
And if you're Stobbs, you can't commit that foul. Carr, clear positioning. You're coming over the back from behind trying to get the block. I think you've got to cut your losses with that one and not let him get the opportunity to make it a three-point play, which he does.
He does, and he's got 10 points and just 3 the first time these teams got together. 69-57. Washington again keeping it close. Teddy Marshall controlling that dribble with 32-31, now 30 seconds left in the half. Looks like the Dogs may try to hold for that final shot unless they can get a real open look. Marshall again with it deep on that left side of the floor. Jackson guards him. Marshall goes around him, gets into the lane, floats it up with the right hand a little too strong. Got his own rebound and the putback basket.
And it was going to be just who came down with the basketball. There's 3 Dogs there inside any defender that Washington had right underneath the basket.
Liam Morris working his way down the floor. Got stripped as he got to the foul line. Taken away by Garrett Stobbs, but taken right back by Puller. He gets to Morris. Left-hand shot wouldn't go off the glass and then the rim as the horn sounded. And we will head to quarter number 4 when we come back with your score. Martinsburg 71 and Washington 57.
Let's talk trash, because when it comes to trash, you have options. Panhandle Dumpsters is a local family-owned garbage hauling company serving both residential and commercial customers with weekly trash pickup, dumpster service, yard waste pickup, and bulk pickups too. Panhandle Dumpsters will give you a free trash can and provide curbside service for just $23 a month. Panhandle Dumpsters features a fleet of quieter, eco-friendly garbage trucks, thereby reducing the noise usually associated with pickup. Switch now and save up to 30%. Call 833-DUMP-STR, panhandledumpsters.com.
My name is Monica. I'm an elementary school teacher.
My name is Mitch. I'm a graphic design specialist.
We have 4 children. Currently we have life and auto insurance with Erie. Our agent is helping us to move our homeowners insurance to Erie as well.
They've always been a good company and good customer service. If anything ever happens to me, my family will be protected.
Your local Erie agent in Martinsburg is Smallwood & Small Insurance. Get a quote at smallwoodandsmall.com.
All right, we are back once again here at the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Matt Miller, Matt Crawford, Eric Sterick, and then Colin McLaughlin is running our production from the studio. Eric on the camera, Matt and I trying to bring you the action from here, and it has been fast and furious. Each team scored better than 20 in the second quarter. Matt, it continued in the third.
He had 22 apiece in that third quarter, 71-57 as we start the fourth quarter. Teddy Marshall driving in, loses the basketball out of bounds. It'll stay. Bulldog basketball inbound coming from the baseline in their offensive end.
Yeah, it looked like Trey Jackson was able to get a hand in there and tip it away from Marshall. So the Dogs will do it again. Shooting at the basket to our right. Anthony Smith out top to Teddy Marshall. 3-ball on the way. Rims in and out. Patel Renvilla high into the air. Grabs the rebound. He puts it up and in. Matt, we got 2 Bulldogs over 20. Teddy Marshall leading the way with 27. And Villa with that putback now has 20 as well.
Yeah, and you're going to see what each basket made. Villa getting into more and more of a groove in this second half.
Liam Morris open in the left corner, gave a little ball fake, took a dribble to his right, and then got towards the lane where he stops and pops. Liam Morris now has 12. Good from about 16 feet out. 73-59, the Martinsburg advantage. Teddy Marshall into the front court, in front of the Bulldog bench along this right sideline. Being guarded by Wright, and now a 5-second violation called on Teddy Marshall. I'm not sure about that one. I
don't think Wright was nearly as engaged as he should have been for that to be a 5-second call.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. He was looking for Tel Renvilla low post right side, but was kind of waiting for him to set up, it looked like. It's a Bulldog turnover, and now Puller into the front court. Dribbling to his left on the left wing. Bullets a pass down low to Carr. Carr spinning back to his right. Puts that short shot up and in the paint. How about Davion Carr, 12 off the bench?
And again, Washington just hanging around.
Anthony Smith driving into the lane. Had to turn and give it out to Garrett Stobbs. Stobbs lost it on this right wing, but it's picked up by Villa. Telrin Villa putting it on the floor with a left hand. Got into the lane, turns, puts up the shot off the right side of the rim. Rebound, Garrett Staubs. He left hands it up and in. Staubs in double figures with 11. He was not going to be denied on that one, 75-61. Martinsburg in front, Puller into the lane. Head coach Dave Rogers wants a traveling violation, but not going to get it as Puller drew contact, and the foul, according to the official, came first. Anthony Smith will get the personal, his first. I've got that as 5 team fouls in this second half. They only have 4 up on the scoreboard right now. Remember, Dorn Smith got the first one, his third. Stobbs has had 2. Anthony Smith 1, and Jars Thurston had 1. First free throw for Jalen Puller misses off the left side of the iron. Puller had 8 points at the half, still looking for his first point in the second half. And for Washington, that's now 3 for 8 from the line tonight. It has not gone well. They were just 5 of 11 the first time these teams got together back on January 14th. Free throw off the mark. Dorn Smith the rebound. 75-61. It remains a 14-point Bulldog lead. Teddy Marshall into the front court. Goes by Jackson to the rim. His underhand scoop shot comes off the iron a couple of times. Morris clears the rebound. Slips a double team in that backcourt. Then passes ahead to Carr, and Carr left hands it up and in.
That's a tough shot down low for Davian Carr. He's completely underneath the basket and doing that little hook shot, but a equally good job underneath the basket by Teddy Marshall at the other end.
Yeah, long pass for the Dogs. Teddy Marshall fighting through a little contact with defenders around him. Somehow got it to go. Marshall's up to 29. I've got that as a season and a career high. Driving into the lane. Jackson gave it off to Wright. Shot off the mark. Jackson got the rebound, and on the putback, he gets tipped and goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Washington. 77-63, the Bulldog advantage. The Dogs going over 70 points for a 9th time this season. And the Dogs are 8-0 when they score 70 or more. Over the last 8+ years, 90-1 when scoring 70 or more points. You know that loss, by the way? Puller taking the inbounds just left of the lane from 15 feet out, knocks down that jump shot.
I don't, so you might as well just tell me.
You know. Triple overtime.
Morgantown.
There you go.
The game that you swore was going to end 3 different times. I kept telling you, no way.
We have a whistle and a foul away from the ball as we are going to have a illegal screen called on Telrin Villa. It is going to be his first personal. Dave Rogers talking with the official as he heads to the other end of the floor. That's a turnover as well. 77-65, Martinsburg with the 12-point lead. Big possession here for the Patriots. Carr at the high post, spins to his left, picks up his dribble. And now gives a pass away, stolen by Teddy Marshall. Marshall lays it up and in. Teddy Marshall over 30 on the night, 31 to be exact. 79-65, that Bulldog advantage. Trey Jackson the other way down the right side of the lane, spins to get free and puts it up and in. He's got 8 points, and now a timeout being taken. Let's wait and see what we have taken by Martinsburg head coach Dave Rogers. 79-67. The Martinsburg lead at 12. Looks like a 30-second break. We're going to go ahead and keep it here. We remind you tomorrow night on Talk Radio WRNR, Iowa State is at West Virginia in college basketball action. They'll tip it off at 7. The pregame will get underway at 6 o'clock. The Mountaineers now number 13 in all of the land. Good news for the Mountaineers. They are still undefeated at home, 11-0 after the win against Kansas State on Saturday. Trying to keep that home record perfect against Iowa State tomorrow night before the Mountaineers travel to Oklahoma on Saturday. By the way, Baylor number 1 in the AP Top 25. The Mountaineers will get them coming up in a couple of Saturdays.
It's always a fun matchup. I'm not convinced Baylor's that phenomenal. I mean, they're a good team. I'm not convinced that they're going to end up being a number 1 seed at the end of the year. I think the way the teams have rotated out of that number 1 spot this year, I don't see them being as strong down the stretch as their record seems right now.
Yeah, nobody can feel safe there, that's for sure. Well, the Dogs work the ball up the floor and go low post right side to Telrin Villa as he turned to put up the shot. We get a whistle and a foul. That'll go on Jalen Wright, and that is his 4th personal. Villa will go to the line where he has made 4 out of 5 on the night. He's got 20 points. Marks the 13th time this season that he has gone in double figures as he knocks this one down. Matt, how many of those do you think he's had 20 or more? Are you ready? I'll count it up. You guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm guessing 7.
7. Make it 8. See, I lagged one behind just to try to fool you. Villa gets them both. Yeah, 8th time this season, 20 or more points, 81-67, that Martinsburg advantage. 4:15 and counting in the ball game. Puller out top as the Dogs go to his zone defense. Don't see that a lot. It's Terrence Jones who works down to the right baseline, turns, and hits that 10-foot jumper. 81-69, Martinsburg. Good feed down the floor as Telrin Villa got it in the lane to Dorn Smith. He lays it in. He's got 10 points. Quickly the other way, Davion Carr, low post left side. He spins baseline, uses that left hand. He puts it up and through. He's got 16. Once again, don't turn around. Both of these teams getting up and down the floor.
Yeah, and Washington just doing a lot of good stuff around the basket.
Teddy Marshall with a bounce feed in the lane intended for Dorn Smith, taken away by Puller, and we've got a whistle and a foul. The foul goes on Jalen Puller in the back court as he was trying to work his way up the floor. I got to admit, from our angle, I had a hard time seeing what that call might be.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, we're sitting right next to each other, so your vantage point on things pretty similar to what mine was, and I didn't see anything out of the ordinary from our view here high atop the field house.
And unless he was trying to use that off arm to shield away the defender coming in from behind. 83-71, Martinsburg basketball. 3:17 and counting in this one. Teddy Marshall into the lane, floats it up and in as he got right up towards the rim. He's got 6 in the quarter, 33 now in the ball game. The Dogs not going very deep in this one. Remember, 4 players out, including Trey Sager, who would normally be in the starting lineup. Davion Carr looking to take the bounce feed at the high post, but it's knocked away and stolen down the floor to Telrin Villa. Two-hand slam dunk for Villa.
He had a slow down right at the last minute after running that basketball down. Teddy Marshall just trying to make sure he got it out in front of Telrin Villa, and a two-hand slam going behind the head before he threw that one down.
Trey Jackson on that far side, passing to Jones down low. Out on that right wing from 16 feet. His shot off the rim. Rebound, Telrin Villa quickly up the floor to Teddy Marshall. Hesitation move, drives in on the left angle and banks it up and in. Teddy Marshall continues a career-high night.
Yeah, and he's just done it in every facet of the game. He's hit mid-range shots. He's hit threes. He's finished around the rim, and he's played good defense tonight. Really just an all-around great game for number 15, Teddy Marshall.
Nice down-low move for Trey Jackson, but missed the shot, and the Dogs go the other way. Teddy Marshall behind the back pass, pulling that one in. Dorn Smith, he gets it off to Garrett Stobbs, cutting to the basket down the left side of the lane. Stobbs' layup is good.
And that all started with a fancy behind-the-back pass from Teddy Marshall that I'm not sure Dorn Smith was expecting, while he bobbled it a little bit going out of bounds. Once he came back around, saw a phenomenal cut by Garrett Stobbs to finish on the left side, and a good find by Dorn Smith.
And the Dogs pulling away late in this one, now 91-71, right from the right side with the three off the back of the rim. The rebound, Garrett Stobbs, outlet up the floor to Dorn Smith. Smith going in, and the reverse layup good.
And Matt, the first two times these two teams met, it's going to be the opposite of what you're going to see in the final score of this one. The last game was a case where I think Martinsburg had a much better game than the final score shows as Telrin Villa throws one down with the left hand.
Yeah, a missed shot on the other end from Puller, and the rebound to Teddy Marshall quickly getting that one ahead for the dunk.
But I think this game is going to be more of a case where the final score is going to not indicate how much Washington hung around in this basketball game.
Terrence Jones driving in on the right angle, has his shot blocked. Telrin Villa got that one. It's Garrett Stobbs who comes away with it. Stobbs down the floor, feeds to Anthony Smith. Oh, missed the layup, but got his own rebound, and then has it blocked by Trey Jackson, and once again Smith's got it. He spins, drives down that left baseline, gets it to Dorn Smith. He goes up for the one-hand slam. 97-71, the Martinsburg advantage, and the horn will sound with 38.7 left as Thurston, Fowler, and Sutherland check into the Bulldog lineup.
And, Matt, I believe we're going to get an inbounds, and it's going to be Martinsburg basketball. I think what they're saying is there was an inbound violation on Washington as they were inbounding the basketball. I believe a player was on the line when the inbounds came, so it's going to be Martinsburg basketball. And will they get to 100 for the second time this season?
Well, let's find out. Luke Fowler will trigger that inbound. Lobs out top to Teddy Marshall. He'll fire that three. He got it, and the Dogs do reach 100 points on the night. 100-71. Martinsburg, I'm not sure when the last time would be that they have put 100 on the board twice in the same season. Davion Carr gets the leg up on the other end after some nice passing from Trey Jackson. And this may be your final, as Martinsburg will work it into the front court and dribble out the final seconds off of the clock. Down to 1 second, the horn sounds, and Martinsburg will get the victory 100-74. It was on January 4th. They beat Stafford, Virginia 107-78. So their second time this season at Martinsburg has hit the century mark in scoring. We'll come back and tell you all about it as we get into the postgame show brought to you by the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial. A 2-minute timeout, then we return to the Fieldhouse where Martinsburg knocks off Washington 100-74.
Get the biggest savings of the year at the 2019 Big Finish event going on now at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Martinsburg. How about an all-new Ram 1500 LTD over $10,000 off plus 0% APR? A 2019 Ram HD 3500 over $7,000 off. A 2020 Jeep Compass is only $21,266. The all-new Chrysler Voyager is $27,479 plus 0% APR. And a 2019 Chrysler 300 is only $24,815. Celebrate the 2019 Big Finish with the deepest discounts and lowest APR of the year. No money down, no payments for 90 days. Great selection, great people, and great deals at Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 9 at Kelly Island Road, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Online at millerschryslerjeep.com. Stock numbers 20126, 20017, 19347, 20135, 19232. All payments based on approved credit, taxes, tags, and processing fees extra. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Eric from Hagerstown Ford. I keep telling you that Hagerstown Ford has completely changed the car buying experience forever. And with a return policy easier than Walmart, Hagerstown Ford has a goal to deliver 350 cars and trucks per month. And when I say deliver, I mean deliver to you, where you are, just like Amazon does. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. The only way Hagerstown Ford can accomplish this extremely aggressive goal is to make the car buying process fast and easy. We simply refuse to play the dumb back and forth games that most dealerships want to play. There's absolutely no reason for you to waste your precious time at a car dealership. I assure you, there is no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. that can beat our price. There's no dealership that will allow you to return your new car if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely has the best price, and we'll bring the car to you. And if you don't want it, return it, period. No questions asked. There's no reason to buy anywhere else. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience and get your new ride delivered to you.
Contact dealer for details.
Well, we welcome you back into the Martinsburg Fieldhouse. Along with Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller. Our studio engineer is Colin McLaughlin, and Eric Sterick running our TV10 on-site camera. Teddy Marshall posing to get some pictures after a career night. We'll give you his total coming up here in a little bit. We can let you know that it's over 30 points as he really lit it up from start to finish in this one. Matt, as we get our postgame underway, a reminder it's a service of the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Give them a call with your financial, retirement, investment questions. Their number's 304-263-4343. You could also stop by and see them at 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg. All right. The way this game played out, I mean, every time you thought Martinsburg was ready to pull away, Washington would make a quick run. They would keep it close. By close, we're talking, it always seemed to be right around that 10-point margin. Might get down to 7.
It got to about
go
6
up to 12
at one
or 13.
Point.
Right.
I think that was the closest it got once we got into the game. But again, they didn't go away in the entire game, and that's credit to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
They came in as the underdogs in this one, only coming in 4-9, now 4-10 Martinsburg. The favorite right now to be the number 1 seed in the region with 11 wins, now 12. But Washington didn't go away. They were not intimidated. They came out and played their game And again, I said it as the game was finishing up, but the final score on this one is going to look a lot worse than what this game actually played out to be. A 74-point game for Washington tonight. It was a very good outing for them. Just couldn't get it done on the defensive end of the floor once it got later into the ballgame. I think their legs just couldn't quite keep up with the athleticism the Martinsburg shows game in and game out.
Yeah, and Martinsburg able to pull away down the stretch, and it was a Teddy Marshall late three that put Martinsburg at the century mark as they get the win 100-74. Let's take a 60-second break. On the other side, we'll run some of the numbers from this one as Martinsburg gets the win tonight over Washington. This is West Virginia High School boys basketball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
All right, let's take a look at some of the numbers from this one and those post-game stats, just like the halftime stats, brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. You can find out more about his campaign online at folk4wv.com, paid for by Michael Folk for Governor. Individual stats. Matt, take it away.
Let's do it. Individual numbers look like this, starting with the victorious Martinsburg Bulldogs. 14 points for Dorn Smith, 26 for Telrin Billy. He came on really strong in that second half, only 8 at the halftime intermission. 13 for Garrett Stobbs, pretty even throughout both, 7 in the first half, 6 in the second half. A career high, a career game for Teddy Marshall, 38 points, 20 in the first half, 18 in the second half, 9 for Anthony Smith. Individuals for Washington looks like this. Trey Jackson, 8 points after 6 in that first half, just 2. And that basket coming in the fourth quarter. 10 for Jalen Puller. He again only had 1 basket in the second half. No scoring for Jalen Wright. He had 26 in the first meeting between these two teams and 10 in the first half. We were expecting another game very similar to the first matchup down at Charlestown. Did not turn out that way in the second half. He finishes with just 10. 9 points for Danny Moylan, 12 for Liam Morris, 18 for Davion Carr. He had a very strong second half, scoring 11 points, and 6 for Terrence Jones.
All right, some team totals. Martinsburg knocked down 5 3-pointers, while the Washington Patriots hit 4 from the foul line. All Martinsburg, 15 of 21, that's 71%. Washington just 3 of 9, 33% from the foul line. The Patriots committed 18 fouls. Martinsburg committing 8 personal fouls. I had the Dogs at a +8 in rebounding, 35-27, and a +6 in turnovers at 18-12. Martinsburg has now won 9 in a row. They are 12-2. The Patriots have now dropped 7 out of their last 8 as they fall to 4-10 on the season. That is a look at the numbers, brought to you by Mike Folk for Governor. Find out more online at folk4wv.com, paid for by Mike Folk for Governor. All right, a 60-second break. We come back and wrap up the Mirius Group and Ameriprise Financial Postgame Show as we name our player of the game. Don't want to give it away yet. All right, you probably already know. And we'll see what's next for both of these teams. We'll set up our next broadcast as well as we wrap up the postgame after this 60-second break. One more time, your final. It was Martinsburg over Washington, 100-74.
If you hang the WVU Medicine sign, it certainly has helped take us to another level.
Evolving what we try to do as physicians and as a health system and organization is the mission of WVU Medicine, and it's an exciting mission to be a part of.
With the knowledge and the years of practice that they've put into this institution,
They know a lot. They can help you, and they've helped me a lot.
Having people treated locally enhances their overall care.
Floodwaters can spread E. coli bacteria. Here's Bill Kearns from the Berkeley County Health Department about what to do if your well is tested positive.
If it's just a one-time contamination, you can superchlorinate your well, which we have instructions at the health department. They could call and talk to us. You're providing an excessive amount of bleach down the well. Then you do a runoff to get that out of the system, to get the bleach through your lines, get any contamination out there. You do a runoff of so long, and then you can have it tested again.
The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. Call 304-263-5131.
All right, time for us to put the finishing touches on tonight's broadcast. First, a reminder, coming up tomorrow, college basketball, West Virginia hosts Iowa State. The game time at 7, the pregame on Talk Radio WRNR will come your way at 6 o'clock. Some Maryland Terrapin basketball going on tonight. How's it looking?
They're plucking at the heartstrings tonight, 26.9 left in College Park. The Terps just hit a free throw to go up 54-51. Against Rutgers, who this is their first week. Out of the last two, I believe they have not been in the top 25, but a tight game throughout, but hoping the Terps hang on.
All right, before we look ahead to what is next for these two teams, let's make it official. Congratulations to the player of the game. Ready, 3, 2, 1.
Teddy Marshall.
Come on.
I should have thrown Luke Fowler out there just to totally throw everything off, but it's got to be Teddy Marshall. 20 points in the first half. You wondered what the second half was going to look like after only 4 points in that second quarter, and that's what makes this 38 points so special for him is he hit one shot from the field in that the second quarter, and it was a 3, went 1 for 2 from the foul line. So 20 points in that first half. You're going, okay, it was a strong first quarter. How is the rest of the game going to go? Just as strong, 18 points in that second half. And again, that was one of the things I talked about in the pregame where it seemed like somebody individually had a good first half but not a strong second half, or didn't start off strong and then came on strong late, but nobody had really had that signature start to finish game, or at least had it consistently, and this was that game for Teddy Marshall. So congratulations to him, our player of the game.
Yep, 2 for 4 from the line and 4 3-pointers. Everything else 2-point buckets for Teddy Marshall, who finishes with 38. All right, next up for the Washington Patriots, we would look at them going actually tomorrow to play at St. John's in Front Royal, Virginia. Then, according to this schedule, they would play again on Thursday at Broad Fording Christian Academy over in Hagerstown, Maryland, and then have Friday off. So the schedule in front of us has the Washington Patriots playing 3 days in a row. This is a tough one to start 3 straight games, falling 100-74. As for Martinsburg, next up, they've got 2 games to close out this week at Musselman on Friday night, and then Saturday, Martinsburg had Preston on the schedule, so if you have an original schedule, you may look and see Preston, but that is not going to be the opponent. There was a mix-up in getting things scheduled, and it will be St. Maria Goretti who will come down from Hagerstown, Maryland to take on the Bulldogs. That will be 4:30 for the JV, 6 o'clock for the varsity action on Saturday, so the Dogs still 2 more times to hit the floor this week.
Yeah, looking forward to both of those games, talking to Coach Rogers down in his office for the game, getting our pregame interview. I believe yesterday he had a chance to go see Goretti, and he said they're a good basketball team. So I believe that'll be one of those measuring, ruler measurement games, whatever you want to call it, to see how this team really looks at this point in the season. Again, not a team you're going to face down the road at all, but still usually a good team year in, year out to kind of measure yourself, what you look like against other top teams in the tri-state area.
It will be a good one, and we look forward to being there at Klein Court. We encourage you, get out and take in the game, man. Root on your team, and we will be glad to see you there. But if you can't make it to the Musselman High School Gymnasium on Friday night, we will have that action beginning with Miller time at 5 to 6, and then the pregame at 7:10, the varsity tip at 7:30. That's going to wrap it up for us here tonight. Thanks to each of our sponsors supporting our coverage of high school boys basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. We say thanks to you for joining us at each of our broadcast entities. Thanks goes out to both head coaches providing information and interviews for our broadcast. And thanks to current athletic directors here at Martinsburg, Brian Sine, Davis Moore, Principal Trent Sherman, for all of their help and support with today's broadcast coverage. Colin McLaughlin is our studio producer and engineer. Eric Sterick running our TV10 camera. For Matt Crawford, I'm Matt Miller, reminding you one more time, our final tonight from the Fieldhouse, it is Martinsburg 100 and Washington 74. Until Friday, so long, everyone.
You've been listening to West Virginia High School Basketball featuring the Martinsburg Bulldogs. Today's game has been brought to you by
Miller Honda of Winchester, the Mirius Group at Ameriprise Financial, Parsons Ford, Smallwood Small Insurance, Miller's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, the Berkeley County Health Department, Luttrell LC Real Estate Attorney, Mike Folk for Governor, W. Harley Miller Systems, Carpet World, Bechtel Jewelers, Hagerstown Ford, the Brown Funeral Homes, WVU Medicine, and Panhandle Dumpsters.
For the continued excitement of high school, college, and NBA basketball, keep it tuned to Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg. All rights reserved.